Hello guys, I'm going to be looking at a video on a complete beginner's guide to vegan bodybuilding apparently by Cole Hastings, who currently has 572,000 subscribers somehow. So let's see what this is about. I've not watched this yet, so I'm just gonna see.
Over the past 2 years, I have been transforming my body through resistance training on a vegan diet. And if you're someone who wants to turn their fitness regimen into a more plant-based approach, or someone who's just been struggling to build muscle while already on a vegan diet, in this video, I'm going over exactly how to start vegan bodybuilding successfully.
Seasoned tofu. Okay. This looks disastrous already, if you remember the last video I made.
What's good?
Yeah, amazing. You know, eating an apple just at the start of the video, just because, you know, brilliant. Very informative. We're already 36 seconds in, no information.
Cole Hastings, and if you are trying to simultaneously look good naked while increasing your well-being, then consider subscribing. So the first thing you're going to need to know to actually start vegan bodybuilding is how to either gain or lose weight. And the way we calculate this is through the TDEE, the total daily.
You need a calculator, guys, to work out how to gain or lose weight. Nothing to do with your body's hunger signals, nothing to do with that. It's all about numbers, calculators. The computer will know better than what you know, definitely. Of course.
Energy expenditure, also known as maintenance calories.
A maintenance amount of arbitrary energy intake, which is not equal to the amount of food that we take in, as we know. That will change up and down, plus or minus, you know, whatever percentage you can imagine, every single day. A nearly useless measurement.
You eat a few hundred calories above this number consistently, and the keyword is consistently here, guys. For, let's say, a couple weeks, you'll start to gain weight, and vice versa for losing weight. If you eat a few hundred calories under that, you're going to lose weight.
If you eat more food, you'll gain weight. If you eat less food, you'll lose weight. Assuming you're at a equilibrium state in terms of the mass balance, in terms of the food balance that you're taking in, or you're oxidizing the food itself to produce some energy. Yeah, that's basically it. The calorie side of it is daft. It's off point. It's non-scientific, and it doesn't really work very well. Let's move on.
In order to calculate this for yourself, you can just look up on Google TDEE calculator, and you can go through the first 3 search results, put in your info that is required on each of the pages, and average out the 3 numbers that you get. First step is completed. Let's move on to macros. Your macros or
So every time, guys, you want to calculate something like this, you have to go into 3 different websites, put your email into 3 different search engines, and find out what you meant to be eating. Complicating it again.
Macronutrients are going to play probably the biggest part into how much muscle you're going to be able to gain. I would say like 60 to 70% of fitness is based around eating the right things and eating the right macro.
Well, fitness in the terms of building endurance or muscular fitness is entirely determined by the activity that you perform. For example, 60% of your benefit you're going to get from, I don't know, say eating a healthy diet, which is a carnivore diet, is not going to give you 60% of the benefits of doing, I don't know, some kind of high intensity interval training workout. Come on. You don't get fit by eating food.
The macros that we're going to be putting our focus on are calories, carbs, fat, and protein. And there's going to be a certain...
Calories are not a macronutrient. A macronutrient is protein, fat, water, and carbs, if you happen to eat them. Calories are not macronutrient.
Ratio we're going to calculate that is going to depend on how much protein you'll actually be needing. So I suggest 0.6 to 0.8 grams per pound of body weight. I think that's 1.4 to 1.6.
That's a more fair reference range. I mean, it's 0.2 gram per kilo difference compared to the 0.5 kilogram difference that was in the last video, I think. So it's not too bad. And again, How much protein do we need? A lot easier to work out when you're eating 2 macronutrients, well, 3 if you include water, and you're eating protein and a fat, and your hunger signals will dictate to you how much of each macro you need to eat.
Grams per kilogram of body weight. I'm going to be leaving a link to this macro calculator that I'm using right here in the description, and also the links to the TDEE calculators that I have used in the past. Now we have the macro calculator here, and we want to put the ratios. First, you put in your calories, and we want to put the ratios at 60% carbs, 20% protein, and 20%.
It's almost like animal feed, isn't it, guys, when you're trying to fatten up ducks or livestock, you know? Get as much carbs as possible, get that insulin really, really, really high. Yeah, just protein just needs to be whatever amount it needs to be, and fat, whatever, you know. Don't worry too much about the fat. It's not like it's the main energy substrate that your body provides to create energy.
Fat, and based on what the protein gives you is how we're kind of going to adjust this ratio. If that turns out to be more than enough protein or not enough protein, we're going to have to adjust the protein ratio and then adjust the carbs and fats with it. So for example, if I'm 150 pounds and I need 3,000 calories to gain weight, at 20% protein, I'm getting 150 grams of protein. That's more than enough that I need. So we can actually bump the protein down to 5% and put that 5% on either carbs or fat, or split it up between the two. And if I was
I'm kind of glad in that sense he's looking at thinking, okay, this is the amount that I actually need. You know, this is the exact requirement I need. Of course, it's can determine day by day. You know, it's a different circumstance each day, but yeah, that's a good way to go about it. But then, you know, it's looking at carbs against fat, thinking, oh, we could up the carbs more. And this is where I'm going to see big problems.
I personally put it on fat. And as for types of foods that we will actually be eating, you're going to want to look for those high protein, high carb meals. And in almost every meal you eat, I say almost because you don't have to be perfect with it. I want you to eat a healthy carb source. Some of my favorite.
Healthy carb sources: brown rice, no. Whole wheat bread, no. Sprouted bread, no. Oats, no. Banana, no. Tortillas, no. Pita, pasta, broccoli, potatoes, no. Of all of those, the healthiest, in my opinion, probably be, well, it depends how you prepare it, but it'd be the bananas or the potatoes. Ideally none. But, you know, people see whole wheat, they say brown, sprouted, you know, they think that's good. They think it's beneficial for some reason. It's just got extra crap in it that was taken out deliberately to make it less toxic. Incredible.
Favorites are listed below. A healthy protein source. Some of my favorites are...
No. Basically, all soya products, black beans aren't really a protein source, they're more of a carbohydrate source or anything. Yeast, not too bad. Probably most innocuous out of those things. Faux meat's not healthy. I'm glad he knows they're not healthy. But it's funny, he says faux meat's not healthy, then above he says healthy proteins. Does make sense. Peanut butter, fat source. Plant-based fat source, rancid as hell. Full of rat hairs, insects, all sorts of things which you wouldn't expect to be in peanut butter, so not an ideal food source either. So all those things, nonsense foods, don't waste your time. Absolute crap, estrogenic. Evident this gentleman's physique, he's got a very soft physique, we call him bodybuilding. Very feminine in some cases in terms of the breast tissue formation.
Listed below. And a healthy fat source.
Seeds, sesame seeds, nuts, peanut butter, no. None of those are healthy fats, not one. High fiber, a lot of them. Again, full of nonsense stuff inside of them that shouldn't be in there. The rat hairs, things like that, insects. All these things as well, they have to be processed in some kind of way to make them tolerable to the human body. Now, tolerability, as you guys know, does not mean that you should eat it. Just because you can tolerate it doesn't mean you should eat it. There's a good, better, and best case scenario for all these sort of things. So bear that in mind when you're looking at these so-called healthy fats.
Some of my favorites listed below. And you can also watch my full day of eating videos to get more vegan meal ideas. But wait, how are we actually going to know how much we're eating every day? How are we going to track these macros? Well, there's 2 apps that I suggest. The first one is...
Do not use MyFitnessPal, guys. It's the most inaccurate one. I'd say 95% of people I consult with that track their macros through this have their macronutrient intake incorrect. Not because they're stupid, not because they're ignorant, not for any fault of their own, but because the macro fat calculator itself, MyFitnessPal, is trash. It's a weak measuring method. Weak.
Is MyFitnessPal. I've been using it the longest, and I say for just tracking macros, if that's all you care about, this would be your best choice. But if you want to get all the information on all the vitamins and minerals that you're eating throughout the day, you can use an app like
Chronometer is a much better way to measure food intake. Much, much, much better. Much more accurate. Much less margin of error. Whether the most important thing of this, guys, is you're consistent. I just find MyFitnessPal prevents people from becoming consistent if they're eating different foods. So, for example, if you're going to put into MyFitnessPal Aldi beef patties, whatever percent fat, okay, fine. You put that in, it's the wrong country. You know, guys, that's giving me a different calculation. People have different ways of calculating things in different countries. In that, I mean, for example, we would have extra ingredients or less ingredients than they'd have in the US. So over here, they might be putting pea flakes into these things. In the US, they might not. They might just have salt and black pepper, you know, things like that. So these things are not accurate in that sense. Then don't produce reliable data that I'd want to use. But the chronometer itself, assuming you're using the same food sources, completely fine, no problem. Much preferred method of measurement. Guys, it's very early here. Cheers.
Chronometer that will tell you everything. And on both of these apps, you just search the food you just ate or scan the barcode, and it has pretty much every single food's macros totally completed for you. So you just need to add that into your diary every single day. And make sure you are tracking every single thing that you are eating throughout the day. Don't lie to yourself just to feel better. Track that shit. Unfortunately, yes, you're gonna have to do some type of resistance training in order to actually build muscle, but I promise you, once you get into working out, doing it consistently and seeing progress consistently, you're gonna love how it makes you.
I bet that guy immediately racked it after this little shot here. I bet he just thought, oh, that was too difficult. Leave it now. No struggle, no intensity. I'm just speculating here, but you can imagine what I'm thinking.
You feel and how it makes you look. And there is 3 types of workout splits that I recommend. If you are a beginner, you should do either an upper lower body split or a full body workout. And if you are intermediate to advanced, you can do something like a push-pull leg split. And if you're wondering if you're gonna need a gym to actually succeed in doing this, you definitely don't. There's plenty of ways to do resistance training that just involve your body weight. And guess where we're gonna find this information? Yeah, it's Google. So if you just search up upper body gym workout or upper body bodyweight workout on Google, or YouTube's also a good source, you're gonna find some basic general ones that are pretty good for starting out, but they're not really specialized towards you. They're not really personalized towards you. So you're not really gonna be maximizing your results. So if you still want help after this video, I offer.
We're gonna ignore this bit, guys. Perhaps don't invest in this guy's consultations or coaching. Invest in mine. You know, more experience, more pedigree in this field, more academia. Everything around that is much more advanced than this gentleman. Of course, he's laid out nicely in his website. I can see that. It's quite a nice little way to sort of sell stuff, but you know, it's not going to work if you're getting information from someone who's misinformed in the first place about diet. So I'd like to try to match the diet with the training itself, which you're not going to be able to do very well if you're eating the wrong diet for human beings.
For one-on-one coaching, personalized workout plans, and vegan meal plans on my website. The link is going to be in the description.
Was he just charging like $75 for a meal plan? Guys, I'm charging like $35.
Now, with these workouts you find on Google, you need to always be making sure that you're completing the set amount of reps that they gave you for as much weight as you can do. And the next time you do this workout, you either want to add a little more weight, can be as little as like 5 pounds, add one more rep, or do better form. And this is also known as progressive overload. Again, this is one of the biggest factors to actually building muscle. And if you're capable of all this, but
just want to caveat what he said there. He didn't elaborate in it, but when he wrote it down on the screen about the form should always be consistent. The form should not be improved from time to time. Now, I understand what he's saying. You know, you want to improve your form, of course, but if you can get your form right from day 1 to say day 28 in a 4-week period, you're going to have one less thing to worry about, one less thing to standardize. Then all you're looking at is a progressive overload principles, which are more reps, more weight, perhaps more volume in some senses, if you can do a longer time extension, you know, things like that. So there's made a good point there, but slight nuance to it as well.
But you lack the motivation to actually work out or eat healthy, you can check out my previous video, which will help you out a ton with developing a positive mindset towards fitness. Oh, you learned something helpful. Leave a like for me, please. Helps on my channel a lot. And thank you guys for watching this video. Comment below if you have any other questions or if you want to know more.
I've got a question I'll direct to him here. Why is he putting out misinformation on the internet?
I'm happy to answer you guys. See you in the next video.
Well, that was horrendous, wasn't it? Apologies for that if I've put anyone off the dinner. I know it happened last time. But yeah, this guy's got 572,000 subscribers. Not much value. I mean, what he said about having a protein amount that you need, yeah, makes sense. The exact amount, you'll never really work out exactly, to be honest. The other thing as well is he talked about progressive overload. It's good. So in a 6-minute 58-second video, he got 2 points correct. So 2 out of however many you guys want to calculate for me, but yeah, 2 things correct in a 7-minute video. Excellent. If you like this content, please like below. Leave a comment as well if you wanted to have a little bit of interaction. It's always interesting to see the comments in these sort of videos. Also, don't forget to subscribe as well for more entertaining carnivore content. Thank you.